Hello and welcome. I'm Lynn of Lynn X Stitches Creates.
And I'm Ash from Stitchography.
And welcome to our floss tube about Counter Cross Stitch and the project bags I make. It is Tuesday, August 30th, and this is episode 52. So welcome back. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Thank you for coming back and checking in on us and all that. And if you're new, welcome. Hope you like and subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we're filming.
Well, when she's filming consistently.
I was going to say, I am now back from Germany. I had a great trip, and Ashley is back from Georgia, at least for today.
To say, from the deep south.
That's right. That's right. So, I had something I was going to say. It just went way out of my head. So we'll just move on. It's been a couple of weeks. If you're new, I know I've had a lot of new subscribers over the last couple of months, and you haven't met Ashley. Ashley is my son Benjamin's fiance, and they're moving to Georgia. So eventually, they're working on buying a house, and Ben's got to stay up here mostly for a little bit longer, but yeah, probably by next year. So maybe Ashley will join me on Zoom every now and then.
Probably.
So, and unfortunately, all her cross stitch stuff, she wasn't planning on coming up, and
Actually, I wasn't planning on staying down south as long as I did. I realized I was gone for as long as I was when I went downstairs and I saw cheese from May in the fridge. I was confused because I didn't realize 3 months had gone by. It seemed like I was gone like 2 weeks ago. Really not. The cats didn't recognize me. No. I didn't recognize them. A couple of them look like chunky monkeys.
It's because she adopted a little wee dog that's teeny tiny. So all the cats look huge to her now.
They're huge.
Anyway, so let's get into stitching, and I'll talk a little bit about Germany at the end. So, unfortunately, Ashley doesn't have her stitching, even though she's been stitching. She's just joined us to say hello and show you that, yes, she is still here and alive.
I'm still alive. Lynn has not done away with me.
Nope. So, I have a bunch of stuff to show. I have an FFO, 2 FOs, and a new start and a whip. So we'll start with our FO. Back in March I started it. I started Ingleside Imaginarium's Hippocampus, and I meant to look up the name of this is a series of mythical creatures.
It's like Magical Menagerie.
Yes, the Magical Menagerie. And this is the Hippocampus, which is a mythical creature that's part horse, part fish. So that's why it's in a jar. And Barbara from Keepsakes, the owner from Keepsakes, she finished it into a hanging flat for me. So he will get hung up. I'm not sure where I'm going to hang him yet, but I love him.
My house.
No.
I tried.
So my first FO is I have been working on Stitchography from the Fat Quarter Shop. I started it last year, August, for World Cross Stitch Day, and it is now done. I didn't finish it for this year's World Cross Stitch Day, but I got it done in August, which was my other goal, because World Cross Stitch Day happened the first day I was in Germany, so that was a little out of the question. But there it is in all its glory. I did my own color conversion using fabric and floss from my stash, and now I just have to get a frame, and I love it, and it will be framed and hung up over my stitchy spot in the sunroom. And then last time I showed you the Happy Camper Snail from the Black Needle Society's
Retreat.
Camp Retreat. Camp Black Needle. That's what I was looking for. And here he is. He's all finished. Now, he did go to Germany with me. I worked on him some on the airplane between here and New York, and a little bit New York to Germany, but it was kind of tight seating, so wasn't able to work on him too much. And a little bit on the bus when we were touring from a long section in Germany. So he is now all done. He is so cute.
And then he's also kind of part of the mini series. So I think there's a Moonrise.
Yep, there's a Moonrise snail,
snail.
and I've got that. And I actually was going to bring that to the Camp Black Needle to start, and I didn't. And then we got him, so I was so happy. But he's very cute.
I have no finishes.
Okay, I have been working on Patrick O'Shanahan from Rebel Stitcher Designs. If I can find a picture, I will put it in there of where he was. And here is where he is now. I've added his beard and his shamrock, his hands, and I've gotten some gold that I'm using for the buckles. And it is, if you would hold that, it is a DMC.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. So it's a DMC spool, and that's what it is. So it wasn't bad to work with. They had tried to warn me off of it at Keepsakes. You can kind of see how thin it is.
Yeah.
So what I did was, usually I'm a loop starter, so what I decided to do was I just ran it under, and I did a single leg, and then I went back and did that same leg a second time to get my 2 strands, and then I did the same thing with the top leg. I did the single leg and then went back. So it worked out really well, and that's what I plan to use for the gold coins. There is a color change in there, and I may use some of the Krynic too, so that I have 2 shades of gold in my pot of gold.
That makes more sense than what I did, because one of the patterns that I'm working on did not call for that, but I wanted to put it in there because there were stars. And so I may or may not have somehow shoved about 7 to 8 of those strands into my needle.
See, I've used Krynic before, and I kind of hate it, and so I've learned, and on Flosstube, different people have different suggestions on how to make it work. So
Don't do what I did.
that
I
worked
can
for
tell
me.
you, it does not work.
So that worked for
Yes,
me.
she does.
So
See,
you know,
now I know.
it may not work for you either. You know, that's Ada, so it worked well on the Ada.
I think mine's even weave. I think that's
Right.
why it was a little
And
too
an
chunky.
even weave, it might not work as well. And then my new start, because Garon Designer Focus this month is Bent Creek, I started my Narwhal Globe, and it's the complete kit that I got at StitchCon, and it says that it's a 20 count linen. I don't know that it's 20 count. It seems kind of big for 20 count, and it's not floss. It's actually the crewel, like crewel yarn. I think that's what it's called. Pearl cotton. Excuse me. So I started him last night, and this is where I am so far. So I got a good start on him. It's very quick stitch. With Bent Creek usually is
I may
very
need
quick.
an explanation for the not floss.
For the pearl cotton, it's kind of like if yarn were very thin and you just use it as it is. So it's like two fibers twisted together, but you use those two twisted. So that's pearl cotton.
Oh, it's like
So
yarn.
it's kind of like string.
So it's like
It's more like string if you've never used pearl cotton.
you're stitching like on a knapsack,
Yeah.
kind of.
So you use that as is.
I'm still
You don't
learning
take it
stuff.
apart. Well, this is the first time I've ever used pearl cotton,
Okay.
so this is a learning curve for me. And this puppy has beads, so I will need some help probably from one of my lovely friends that does a lot of beading, Melina. Just so you know, the questions are coming. So, but he is adorable. I love him so much. So that is that. So that's all the stitching that I've been working on. Let's see. I have a couple of purchases. I bought from Sambry Stitches again. I bought from her D-Stash. And I got Baby It's Cold Outside from Lizzie Kate.
Oh, you've got all the Christmas stuff.
I got Ice Queen from Lizzie Kate. And then from Lizzie Kate, I got Chocolate Lovers. So there may be a small coming from that. Because I do have 2 retreats coming up that I'm going to. I will be going to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, put on by Acorns and Threads in September.
Oh, wow.
I'm going in person to Oregon, and I just bought my flights yesterday, so that's exciting. And then in October, I'm going to Stitch West with Snug Harbor Crafts, which will be in Salt Lake City. So if you're going to either of those, let me know, and I will see you there. I was at Keepsakes Friday for a little bit, and the Christmas issue of Just Cross Stitch came in. So
Is this one in there? It's like a starry night.
that's a Mill Hill kit. Does it say what the name? It's got glow in the dark threads. I don't know if that's a new kit coming out from Mill Hill, but it looks like the Aurora Borealis. That's really pretty. That may have beads because Mill Hill's like beads.
I think I
let's see.
got a bead kit from them.
There are some cute ones this year in here. I really like the lantern light post.
So really cute.
Kind of reminds me of
Or the mermaid at the beginning.
the mermaid. So there's some cute ones in here. So all the LNSs should be getting them in. I think that's really pretty, the Mary. So check your LNS. It should be there now. It should be in the store now. I have my name on the list so that I get it.
I have the Halloween edition.
Yep. I was just going to ask you, Ben brought that down to you.
Maybe.
The new one. The Halloween one? He should have.
Oh no. I think I have last year's.
Unless I have put it away in here somewhere. We'll look. Because I showed it a couple of weeks ago on my floss too.
You know what? I have last year's.
I have this year's. I purchased for you. So
You see, this is how time has gone this year. I can't tell what year we are in anymore. This is what 2022 has felt like for me. 'Cause apparently, it's been last year since last year. That makes so much sense.
yep. It's been a year. If you've been with us, you know we've had a year. So Rebel Stitcher Quarterly Needleminder Club arrived last week. Sorry for all the crinkling. I have opened it, but I sealed it back up so you could see, forgetting how much crinkling there would be. So here is
So cute.
the exclusive Needleminder that Colleen drew, designed, and had made. I got a little pumpkin ornament that I can either put on a tree or use as a finish. We've got a bunch of stickers, and then she put in some counting pins. So very, very cute. And the stickers are a lot of fun. Get them open. And then next week I should have my quarterly cottage garden threads. So we've got Death Potion, Felix something, I can't read, Potion of Superior Healing, it's a +8, that's important if you play D&D.
+8 makes the difference.
Hell Broth, Venomous,
Calendula.
right, Ursula Marigold's Potion Shop, Bat Wings, Witch's Brew, finely minced toad flax. I'm not sure I want to know what that is. Polyjuice Potion. And Superior Healing Potion. Does it say 5 doses?
Yes, it is the original recipe.
So a lot of fun stickers. If you like to make Halloween displays, those would all be great to put on bottles that you can get from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or even Target. I think I've heard people talking about them having them, so there you go. And then my last bit of haul, while I was at Camp Black Needle, well, even before that, I've been to a few retreats now where stitchers have cup holders attached to their table, so their cup doesn't have to sit on the table and, you know, chance spilling, and it's off to the side. And some of the ladies at Camp Black Needle had these amazing metal ones, which is so nice. I had gotten a plastic one, and it just, you know, the weight of your water bottle or your cup is just too much for it. So this is a nice metal cage. Now this piece, there's a hoop, and there is a bag that goes on it. So you can use that as your trash bag. The ladies that I saw, they had all made bags out of their own fabric for it. But this bag has like pockets, so that if you want to put, like here, there's all, you could put pens, or if you're,
Or like your phone.
right. Let's see.
It's got multiple pockets.
Let's see, will your phone fit there?
Yeah.
Your phone might, I think there's an extra stitch that needs to be taken out, maybe.
Okay. These are deceiving pockets.
Yes,
Never mind.
but, yeah, I'd have to figure it out.
You put stuff
But
in there.
really cool. So thank you to the ladies. I'm sorry I don't remember your names that were telling me about that. I found it. And if you're interested, it's from Create Room. So that's the crafter's caddy. And Create Room is the one that makes the big armoires that you open them up and you can folds down, and it's like you can be scrapbooking in it or have your sewing machine in it or whatever type of craft you do, and then it all closes back up into an armoire if you're
Things I don't
short
need
on space.
to add to my list.
Well, now that you're going to have a house, you can have a craft room too. Or have a corner of your office.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I also have 2 dogs that are moving in with me. First and foremost, the most important thing. So I'm trying to figure out how to
Keep them out of stuff.
proof my stuff.
Yep.
Which brings me to this, which you guys probably already saw. Well, okay, so I had not seen my Black and Yellow Society, was it my May box?
Yes, the May,
Yeah.
which was unicorns, mermaids, and
dragons.
oh my. Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I'm sorry. I know I had said that I had like something prepared, like I was going to dress up and stuff, and then I disappeared off the face of the earth. I went to Ireland, if that helps. So that kind of.
And then family.
Yeah, I was gone longer than I thought, but I came back, and this right here has been kind of like the most. I'm trying to figure out English because I did also spend about 3 months hearing just Spanish because that's my family speaks. Overwhelming? Is that the right word? I don't know. This stood out the most out of that box. There's great stuff in the box, and if you look at her prior video, you'll see what was in that box. But this is a weapon.
This is the bottle opener.
Oh yeah.
But it's cast iron. It's heavy.
It's a weapon. You know?
You know, if you slip trying to open the bottle, you're gonna break the bottle.
Well, and also I was thinking like moving out because I'm moving out into the country. And, you know, not that I'm going to have any neighbors or anything, but I just figured, like...
Keep it by the door.
Yeah, by my pillow. It's just like... But yes, sorry for my rant, but I just had to, like, reshare this. It just made my day.
Project bags. It is August 30th, which means Thursday, which is September 1st, I will be sending out an email to everyone that purchased the June bag, and they will have the opportunity to sign up to receive the September bag, which is Hispanic Heritage. And our cross-stitch pattern designer for this time is Ashley. So, be watching your email box if you got the last one. And amazingly enough, I have 1 June bag left. I haven't put it out for sale because I accidentally mailed 2 Needleminders to Colleen Rebel Stitcher, who made the Needleminders, but she bought the bag, and somehow I put 2 in there, which meant I didn't have one for the last bag that I have. So I now have it back because she sent it back to me, and if you are interested in that bag, tomorrow I will put it on my Instagram. And
May
first
the
come,
best winner win.
Yep.
May the force be with you.
First come, first serve. That's all. So that's that. I hope to have some other bags up on my Instagram in the next week or so. I had planned to have stuff up last week, and jet lag just hit me hard. And I think that's probably partly because I was avoiding being sick, because my sister-in-law, we were roommates on the trip, she came home with COVID. And there were other people in our tour group. There were only 20 of us in the bus, and it was like 1 of every pair of people came down with COVID. So we're not sure how that works, why I didn't get it and she did. There were 2 sisters, and one of them got it. 2 couples, 1 spouse got it. It's really bizarre. I don't get it, because we were all the same places. So for whatever reason. But anyway, so I was really jet lagged last week, so I didn't do a whole lot of sewing. I'm just starting to get back into the swing of things this week. So be watching my Instagram. I hope to have stuff up. I will be having a trunk show at Stitch West in Salt Lake City. So if you're going to that, I should have more than I had at Camp Black Needle. I'm really sorry. That was so sad. That was such a sad showing. Yeah. So that's project bag info. One other thing that I purchased, I signed up for the new Caterpillar cross stitch Christmas Stitch into Christmas, and it's going to be another advent calendar type of cross stitch. I ordered the kit. It's on its way. So hopefully the first part drops September 12th. So hopefully I'll have it in time. I decided to get Ada because all my Christmas stuff, because that's what I stitched on for years,
Is Ada.
is Ada. So that's what, and Ada's kind of a vacation to me. It's easier to count and I just enjoy it. It's a quicker stitch in some ways. So those are the colors that are gonna be. So looking forward to, I really enjoy Caterpillar cross stitch patterns.
Is that similar to kind of like the hand-sign design cookie style
Yes.
last year?
Yes. More like the historical sampler company one that I did.
Okay.
I think it's going to be pretty much a calendar type from the previews that I've seen. That's what it kind of looks like, which is okay. This one's going to be on blue, I believe, is the fabric. Let's see if it says that. No, it doesn't say what came in my kit. I'm pretty sure it's a navy blue this year, which should be really pretty. So there's that. September 1st starts Magazine Monthly Challenge group. It's AB Singo, which is a bingo type board. They take one letter out of the alphabet. This year they're taking H off. And we have to come up with projects that go with each of the letters of the alphabet. And I've already got my bingo board set up. I did a random letter generator and got all my letters on my board randomly. So I've just got to finish probably a little more than halfway. So I've just got to finish filling in what projects I'm going to use. And if you're interested, just go to the Magazine Monthly Challenge group on Facebook, and the link is in the description box, and there'll be information about AB Singo. So it's a lot of fun, but I've got to get it posted because tomorrow night Carol and Zook will pick the first letter. And the way it works is you can either do 100 stitches or an hour on a project, and that fills in that day, which is why I really enjoy it, because I can touch a bunch of different things in the time, and it's not a big, oh, you got to do 5 hours, you got to get to 5,000 stitches, whatever.
I'm not sure if I own enough non-mirabilia, or Nora Corvettes.
But you could do it and just tweak it. So, like one of mine, for why, I have Ode to a Peacock by Jan Hicks, because there's yellow in it. That's my why.
So I can...
You can, as long as you can justify why it's that letter, you can do anything. So it can be a new start, it could be old whips. I've got, for A, Affairs of Dragons.
Oh.
Which is Glendon Place, and that is Garon's designer focus for September.
Which
so I've got that
I
on there
can't wait for you to finish that one, by the way.
Yeah, well,
I'm
I haven't
so
gotten back to it, so
excited for
that's
that
the other
one.
side. Ooh, that's right. I can be Ingleside Imaginarium because I've got that other dragon from the box, the needle and note box.
Yes, that is true. Oh, the cherry blossom.
Mm-hmm. Cherry blossom dragon, and I started that and I haven't gone back to it. So, because I decided that was not something I could stitch on while I was talking to people. But, Q, that's going to be my tough one. Q. U is United We Stand. A couple of the ones that I used last year I have finished. Like finishing Stitchography, I kind of lost some of the unusual letters. So I'll figure it out. I'll get it done tonight and be good. Let's see. So that's plans. So I've got 2 things coming up for September. Let's see. I haven't picked a card from the Black Needle Society Challenge deck in a while. So let's see what the challenge deck says. And I just dropped it. And stitch on a piece with black and white. So does that mean only black and white, or it just has to have black and white?
I think it has to have black and white.
So that will go with pretty much everything I'm doing on AB Singo. Okay. So I think that's about all. I'll put in, just if you're interested, I'm going to put in some pictures from Germany. We arrived in Frankfurt and got on a tour bus, and we went to Mainz, which is where Johannes Gutenberg lived, who created the printing press, the first movable printing press, and the Gutenberg Bible, which were both important turning points in our civilization. We went to Koblenz, we went to Rudesheim and Regensburg and Heidelberg, saw the castle.
And all of this was over the span of a week, correct?
9 days.
9 days.
9 days. I walked over 121,000 steps. My tour guide was...
Attila the Hun.
She was. Don't look left, don't look right, just go. No one was allowed to shop. I was lucky I got any souvenirs at all. We went to Oberammergau and saw the Passion Plays, if you've heard of them. If not, this little town in Germany during the 1600s when the bubonic plague was happening, made a deal with God. They said, if you save our village, we will put on the life story of Jesus from Palm Sunday to the resurrection every 10 years. And short of 4 different times, they have done it since then, since the 1600s.
So it's every 10 years?
Every 10 years.
So you got lucky to see them.
Right. It was supposed to be in 2020.
Okay. COVID.
We all know. So they moved it to this year. And that's why my sister-in-law, her church, had made this trip plan. And we're supposed to go, and then it got, bumped
delayed
till this year. And my sister-in-law's roommate dropped out, so I jumped in. That's how I got to go. But, so the Passion Plays, if you can't go this year, because it'll go until October, the first, October 3rd. If you can't go this year, in 8 years, in 2030, make plans to go. Because I'm telling you, even though it's in German, our tour gave us a script that was all in English so we could follow along. It was amazing. Just the pageantry of it. Everyone in town is involved in this production, and they say that you have to have lived there like 10 or 20 years. You can't just come in and
Wow.
Short of the kids, and there are a lot of kids in it. They've got live animals, they've got horses, camels, goats, donkeys.
So it's like you're walking into the Passion Play, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
amazing.
like everyone's going.
I mean, it's like 400 people in this cast, and that's not an understatement. Plus the orchestra. The orchestra is the only exception to the rule, because they need to bring in some people for the orchestra. But the orchestra was incredible. I can't say enough about it. But we went to Birch's Garden, and we were in the salt mines, and brought home 2 little cans of salt, 2 little containers of salt from the salt mine. And the salt mine there in Berchtesgaden was one where, if you've seen the movie Monuments Men, that's one of the places that they hid, the Nazis hid stolen artwork, gold, things like that. And then we went to the Eagle's Nest, which was built on the top of a mountain above Berchtesgaden for Hitler to use. He did not use it often. He only used it maybe, they said he was only there like 10 to 15 times. But it was like slave labor that built this road and this house, or building, not a house, because you didn't sleep there either. That was, I mean, people died in the process of making this, but the view is spectacular from the top, and it was interesting to see. So we went there. We went to Salzburg in Austria. We saw the fountain that's in Sound of Music, if you know the Sound of Music, and the Do Re Mi song, the fountain that they're playing around.
It's that one.
We went to that fountain.
Okay.
Saw the building where Mozart was born, and then another building where his family lived. That's why I brought you the Mozart candy.
Oh, that is true.
That's right. So, let's see. And then we ended up in Munich, and we went to Hofbrauhaus in Munich, which there's Hofbrauhaus here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a sister city with Munich, and so there's a Hofbrauhaus here and in Columbus, but Hofbrauhaus in Munich is an experience. Let me just put it that way. It was crazy busy, crazy loud. Of course, we were there on a Friday night. I don't know if it's like that every day of the week, but it was something. But we saw a lot of beautiful churches. Because we were traveling with the church group, Father Joe did Mass every day in a different church. The only day he didn't do Mass was the day we saw the Passion Plays in Oberammergau. So it was quite something. It was quite a trip. We had a lot of fun. My feet were very swollen when I came home. I got down to only one pair of shoes that fit my feet because my feet were that swollen from all the walking we were doing. Yeah, it was bad. I have pictures. It was bad.
It's almost as bad as for Ireland. I actually came home with a pair of shoes where the sole had like departed from the base of the shoe.
I was ready for there to be holes in my shoes. I'm amazed that they lasted as long as they did. So, but it was a great trip. My sister-in-law and I had a good time. We were all laughing at the airport because she was telling me that she still loved me even after living with me for 9 days. And she's like, "Do you still love me?" And I was like, "Yes, we had a good time together." So that was a good thing, you know.
And then y'all didn't have to do the COVID test to come back home.
That's right. Because they changed that, I think it was July 1st, we didn't have to do COVID tests. And I'm really curious now how many, because that was my sister-in-law's biggest fear, is that we would get through the whole trip and she would get stuck in Germany because of COVID. So I don't know if she would have tested positive Saturday. She tested positive on Monday.
It's interesting, definitely, because I know in May, at the end of May is when I went to Ireland with my best friend. We had to do the test coming back, and you know, we got lucky because we were both kind of just getting kind of like congested from just the weather changes, because they told us to expect like not hot weather. It's hot weather? I don't know. We packed like the wrong kind of clothes. I forget. And she and I were starting to kind of sniffle on our way back, and so we did our tests and they came back negative and we came back here, but that was terrifying. So I'm glad that y'all had that like extra stress taken out of your trip.
That's for sure.
Because
That's for sure.
Oh no, being stuck in Germany. But
well, I had promised her that, you know, if she got stuck in Germany, I would stay with her. I would not leave her. So, but that didn't happen. So it's all good. So, and she's feeling better now, which is even better. So, having said all that, I will throw some pictures in at the end, and I will try to mark, what they are so that you know what you're looking at and not just a church, a castle. Oh, and we went to Neuschwanstein, which everyone knows, that's Cinderella's castle, or the castle in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
That's
Yep. Yep. So, it was a great trip. We really had a good time. Saw lots of fun stuff. I was thrilled to be back. I had lived there 30 years ago, and just to get, I really, it was almost like a homecoming in a way, because that was the first place that my husband and I really lived for any length of time together. And so I missed the food, and I missed, hearing the language even some. I mean, I'm not a good speaker,
Berlin Wall, you said.
Right, the Berlin Wall. When we lived there, we had gone to Berlin in May of '89, and it fell in November of '89. So we went before, and that was an experience too. So unfortunately, I didn't get to go to northern Germany to see how things have changed. We were all in southern Germany, which is where we lived. So,
you can kind of compare and
Right.
contrast, but it's kind of interesting how things, I guess, that made it to like my textbooks are actually within like such a closer time frame than it seems. Because when they're in textbooks, they happened 2 centuries ago.
Right, it happened
But-
a long time ago.
It didn't, but it's like, interesting hearing her stories about the Berlin Wall falling and then me reading it in the textbook, because the textbook really does make it seem like it happened 500
Ages.
years ago.
Yeah.
Right, so that's interesting.
Yep. So, anyway, have a good evening. We will see you. Ashley won't be here next week unless we Zoom. Maybe we'll try to Zoom next week.
We'll see.
And that way you can show some of your stitching next Monday. It's Labor Day next Monday.
Maybe I may be leaving the country again.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I try to plan. I don't know what's going on anymore. But maybe I'll see you next week. She'll be here next week. And with that,
Have a good one. Bye.